As I travel the American Southwest, I never cease to be amazed by the exquisite beauty of both the natural world and the art and architecture left by the ancient inhabitants of these lands. In this episode of Desert Lore, I am visiting the sites of two different ruins. The ancient purpose and uses of these sites are disputed even to this day. Some archaeologists think that they were one-room dwellings, while others interpret these sites as being granaries despite the presence of carbonized walls from fires. After visiting them both, I have my own theory on what they might be. Join me as I visit these ancient sites and experience them firsthand.
Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here, and on today's episode, Desert Lore, I'm going to be just going up to a ruin I've wanted to see for a while. This one is very small, and the people that I've read who've reported on this, some have said that they think it's a granary, but other people have said that there's indications of smoke, like there was cooking inside, and I got a theory on what that might actually be. It's 1,000,000 degrees today, and I'm getting eaten alive by bugs, so I'm probably gonna keep this short, but we're gonna go up there, we're gonna check this place out, and it's pretty easy. If you just squint your eyes looking at it up there, it's really easy to miss. It's right off the side of the road, it's not that far away. But I'm gonna zoom in and take a look at this. Looks like this has been washed out. I've seen other people with pictures from this site, and this hadn't been washed out. I know a lot of people visit this site, but I'm not seeing a lot of tracks either. So it's kind of interesting to think there's a bunch of broken glass bottles, and there's an old metal bottle cap. And where was it? Around here? Yeah, right here. Here's an old cartridge casing from a 22 bullet. This is all by definition trash, but yet, you know, in 1,000 years, that's history. So is somebody else going to come by here and say, you know, why were these bottles here? Were these holding something sacred? Were these offering vessels? And this 22, was there a great hunter who hunted here? No, it's probably just somebody target shooting over here. You know, and look, there's even, I didn't just notice there's some, it looks like old graffiti. I don't think those are petroglyphs, but it looks like there's somebody's spray painted on this rock. And again, if somebody sees that in 1,000 years, are they going to wonder, is this a sacred marking? You never know how people are going to interpret things. One of the things in archaeology that we're accused of is viewing everything as being a ceremonial item or a ritual item, or everything is sacred. That's not always the case. You think about, even if you were a religious person, how much of what you have in your home is sacred or is ritualistic? Not a lot of it. We live our daily lives, but it's easy to have that presentism, and then when you view the past, to think of everything as sacred or ritualistic, but it's not always the case. Okay, so coming up on it, it's got some really nice masonry. We'll go ahead and climb up in there. All right, so these are right here above me. This is pretty small. I haven't looked in yet. But the claim on this site is that it is a one-room dwelling, and that people lived here, and there were signs of cooking, soot in the ceiling. But the interesting thing is, these rocks over here also contain a black varnish that most certainly is not from a fire. But looking up here, I can see why that kind of does look charred, including on the outside. And let me zoom in a little here. That does look charred. That absolutely does. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so looking at this site, this is really unusual. So there's no woodwork whatsoever even above the door. The door is very small. I could fit in it barely. This is small. This is really small. You can't stand up inside of here. But look on the top of the rocks. There is carbonizing all over this. There absolutely was fire held up here. Now my theory was that this maybe had been a cave. In earlier times people had camped here and then later on it was just made into a granary. But I don't think this is a granary. I think somebody did camp in this and live here as just a tiny one-room Pueblo. Who knows? Maybe it could be a separate thing. Like if you're on a journey, maybe this is the equivalency of like a little hotel. Just a place that you can stay, get out of the cold when you're traveling between regions. Who knows? But again, the masonry is rudimentary. It's decent quality, but it's nothing fancy. I'm taking a quick stop in this video to show you another site. Went down the road a little further, so I'm going to go back to the other ruins again. But first of all, this site has a little arch. And I gotta say, you know you're in Utah when this is nothing. Nobody cares about this thing. It doesn't have a name. But any other state, this would be a state park or a national park. Lone Arch Pass National Park. But here in Utah, it's just some cool formation. But the interesting thing is there's these caves here. And these caves are just like what we were just at, but they're not in as good of state. So if you look up in here, hopefully you can zoom in there. You can see here, you can see the adobe structure. There's obviously more. It's been knocked down over time. And you can clearly see fire in there. You can see there are scorch marks, and the same thing is going on over here. So why am I bringing this up? Well, if you're a traveler and you're coming through, and again, I know of a lot of the ruins and dwellings in this area. My guess is if you're passing through, this is a nice wash. There's cottonwood trees. There's a little river flowing through here. So this is a good place to stop. You have water, but you need a place to stay. And I think, and I could be entirely wrong, but again, the adobe is, the masonry is a very poor quality on both of these two caves. It's very rudimentary, but there was definitely fires that took place in both of these. So again, I think, people stayed here, but I don't think they lived here. So as I'm traveling through this area, I'm gonna be watching for this more because I really think that that's something I hadn't thought about in the past, was that you would, oh, I hope you heard that. That was a canyon run in the background. But I think just having a marker like this is like, yeah, just follow the wash. And then when you see the arch, that's where you go ahead and stop for the night. You have a nice little cave, an alcove with an adobe structure. You can stay there, you can build a fire, and then move on in the morning. That's what I think is reasonable to assume we're looking at. Well, I hope the LiDAR scan worked out. This is a very unusual site. This is an alcove, but I just feel like there's better alcoves in the area to build in. And everything I see in here does indicate the presence of fire. This doesn't make sense. Because again, size-wise, structure-wise, the smallness of the door, everything about this to me says granary. But again, that presence of fire kind of makes me think that this was something else. Now, in this immediate area, there's no really epic ruins. So kind of my inclination, again, I go camping, And I think about living in a time that was much more treacherous, harder to live, harder to travel. And, you know, in the hot, it is a million degrees out there, and I'm in the shade, and I'm way cooler. And I think about being in the winter. So if you're in the summer and you are trying to trek from one place to another in this area, you're trying to go from one Pueblo to another for whatever reason, trying to do some trade, whatever, and you have to move, you have to travel, well, you got to stop. And I think about, I love to camp. I'm very much an outdoorsman. I do a lot of bushcrafting. And, you know, I know what to look for a good camping spot. And if you're having to camp in the summer heat, it's just, and it's only May now, and it's still a million degrees already, and there's bugs everywhere. It's like, okay, if you go in here, I'm much cooler just in this alcove. And just my hand holding this camera is frying right now because my hand is in the sunlight. And right here, again, it's like 20 degrees cooler. So again, having a way stop, that's what I believe this is. At least it would make the most sense, because I know the other ruins in this area and how far they are. This would be a good stopping point. It's right down by the river, so you have water, but up above you have a place that isn't lived in, but it's a place that you can stay, that a person, when they're traveling, hey, anybody could just stay here. This is built up. You can stay here. You have a place where you can stay warm in the winter and stay cool in the summer, and you keep predators out, keep bugs out, and you can build a fire inside and just right on the edge there and have it smoke out. And there is a little opening up top here. I hope I'm pointing at that, to let smoke out. But you could also, right where I'm sitting, build a fire out front. And again, in the summer, if you do a little fire here, that's going to keep the bugs out. So I could be wrong, and I don't know that anybody would know for sure, but this is a very unique site. And again, my assessment was, I had thought that for sure this was just a granary, and that all these smoke stains up above, all this tarnishing from fires, was from an earlier time. But this is not a good site to sleep in without the adobe. So this would not have been, if you look inside, this is not a good spot for kind of staying in unless you have a wall. So beautiful site, and I again hope the LiDAR worked out. Hope you can get a sense and a feel for it. But hope you enjoyed this quick little detour on the side road of another adventure. And just always remember that life is a gift. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.